over the last few weeks, it feels like I've turned into college basketball's Dear Abby. For anyone under the age of 35, Dear Abby was an advice column that ran in newspapers across the country years ago. Also, for anyone under the age of 35, newspapers were, well, you know what, that's a story for another day. Anyway, back to the Dear Abby stuff, where it seems like I am getting all sorts of questions, and being asked to make sense of a lot of bizarre storylines in a truly bizarre season. In previous weeks I addressed what's wrong with Kentucky and whether it can be fixed, and last week, I answered the question that will plague anthropologists for centuries to come: how does Will Wade still have a job? Well, with Kentucky set to travel to Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Tuesday, I've decided to answer another question I've gotten a lot recently. That question: how the heck did Alabama basketball get so good, so fast? Incredibly, a program whose glory days date back to the late 1980s and early 1990s, with a dabble of Antonio McDyess, Williams and Collin Sexton mixed in since, is all of a sudden a college basketball power. Since SEC play started, they are 8-0 with wins at Rupp Arena and Thompson-Boling Arena, a 30-point beatdown of LSU and 29-point win of Arkansas. So how the heck did Alabama get so good, so fast? Let's take a look at how it happened. They hired the right coach'll be the first to admit that when Alabama fired Avery Johnson in the spring of 2019, I kind of scratched my head and said, huh? What are they doing? Or maybe better yet, I scratched my head and said, who do they think they are? This is Alabama basketball we're talking about here. And Avery Johnson had been fine as their head coach, leading them to an NCAA Tournament in 2018, in Sexton and John Petty's freshman year, and a NIT run in 2019. I was always under the impression that one NCAA tournament in 4 years would get you a statue built in Tuscaloosa. Not a pink slip. Then, a few days later, Alabama hired Nate Oats. And boy oh boy did my attitude change. By now, Oats' story has been documented many times over, but it doesn't make his meteoric rise the last decade any less incredible. Oats was a high school coach as recently as 2013, then, after Rhode Island, coached then by Dan Hurley, recruited one of his players. He was hired by Dan Hurley's brother Bobby Hurley at Buffalo a short time later. After 2 years as Hurley's lead assistant, Oats was named the team's head coach. And after a few tough years, Oats got Buffalo rolling in a big way. By year 3, the team went 26-8 in the regular season and advanced to the NCAA Tournament, where they were matched up with arguably the hottest team in college basketball at that point, the Arizona Wildcats. That was the first year the Wildcats were dealing with all their FBI stuff but had straightened things out by the end of the season.